Does an offshore trust make you judgment-proof? Well, the answer is no, because nothing makes you judgment-proof. And there are always some ways that a highly motivated creditor could enforce judgments regardless of your asset protection plan. So let's use an example of an offshore trust. An offshore trust probably is the best and most powerful asset protection tool. But there are still ways a creditor could consider that could undermine your trust. As an example, we've had situations in my practice where a creditor has filed an involuntary bankruptcy proceeding against one of our clients that has an offshore trust. And in a bankruptcy proceeding, a bankruptcy court can order a debtor to repatriate any assets offshore and bring them back and to put the assets under the control of the bankruptcy trustee. This is because a bankruptcy court has worldwide jurisdiction over all assets. And if a court orders you to bring back the assets from your offshore trust and you refuse, the court could incarcerate you under civil contempt. So even with an offshore trust, there are the possibilities of something in bankruptcy court that could be imposed on you involuntarily that could undo the protection of an offshore trust. Now, this does not happen often. And in my experience, there are ways to protect against involuntary bankruptcies that I've successfully used, actually, to defeat them. But it is important to understand this is an example that offshore trusts are effective, but they're not perfect. And a very experienced collection attorney with a wealthy and highly motivated client can explore certain ways that can undermine the trust. What you should do is keep in mind that the goal of the trust is not perfection and not judgment proofing. The goal of the trust is to make it very difficult for the creditor to collect a money judgment and thereby to enhance your negotiating leverage so that you can use the offshore trust as a tool to negotiate a very, very favorable settlement of any judgment. We recommend to our clients that it is better for them to discharge a judgment with a very low settlement by virtue of the offshore trust than it is to refuse payment and live with a judgment that can last for 20 years and that could subject them to collection actions anytime within the 20 years without notice. So, offshore trust will not make you judgment proof. They will make you highly protected. And they will make it possible for you to escape a civil judgment with a very favorable settlement and thereby end up with a satisfactory end to what has otherwise been a very disruptive legal proceeding.